Hi, this is Carl, and this is another SOP video for managed service providers. I recently finished teaching a class on tuning up your service board and making sure everything in your service board is managed correctly. And it brought to light several things that people do that frustrate them and slow down the system and basically keep them from getting the greatest value out of their service board. So let me preface this by saying that probably the first piece of software I would ever recommend that you buy for your managed service business is an RMM, a remote monitoring and patch management system. Once you have the RMM installed, several things happen. First of all, you can patch things automatically across all of your clients. That's huge because it reduces the number of problems you have, dramatically reduces the number of viruses, and it also makes sure that you have maintenance in place, which is what you're selling with managed services. RMM will also give you the remote part. You'll be able to remote into all of those clients. And finally, it's going to put a little widget in the lower right-hand corner so that when a client clicks on that, they can open a ticket automatically. So putting the RMM in place is huge, and it has a dramatic effect on your system. Now, I want to talk about in the next several videos about the key components of tuning up your managed service board. And I want to use the analogy of a conveyor belt. So if you think about it, tickets come into your system and they go down the conveyor belt, and then eventually they go off the belt. And the problems that people have are fundamentally not getting tickets in the system, not having one item per ticket, and then having things fall off the side of the belt, basically. You know, in a perfect world, your ticketing system should be the one place where you can absolutely guarantee that nothing is lost, dropped, or forgotten. So how do we do that? Let's start by talking about getting things into the system. So how do tickets get into your system? It is not random. It is not uncontrollable. In fact, it is perfectly controllable. You just have to make the effort. For example, we never let people enter tickets through Twitter or Facebook Messenger or AOL or, you know, any other 1,000 text messaging kind of systems. For us, you can email something in and a parser will put a ticket in the system. You can use the little icon in the lower right hand corner and create a ticket. You can call our service desk, and either a service coordinator or service manager or sometimes a technician will take that call and enter a ticket. You can tap a technician on the shoulder, right? There's lots of ways where we've approved getting tickets into the system. So that there should be a list of what is allowed and a short list of what's not allowed, but also a little asterisk that says, or any other system. You know, you can't put a bat light up in the sky and expect us to open a ticket on your behalf. I've had people complain, oh, Carl doesn't get back to me on Twitter. No, it turns out I don't. Right? That's not a legitimate way for you to get a ticket into my system. So, what are your first, second, and third preferred methods for people to enter tickets? I like them to be automated. Here's the key point about the RMM. You need to set it up properly, and you must connect it to your ticketing system. And for a lot of people, that's where things go south, because every RMM is going to blow up your service board. As soon as you connect it, you're going to get hundreds, if not thousands, of tickets. And so you have to understand the software that you've purchased, and you have to crank it down. You have to say, look, for example, if memory reaches 72%, don't open a ticket, right? Because what's going to happen is when something bounces right around 72%, you're going to get a ticket day after day after day. So you need to say, okay, either set the threshold higher or set the threshold longer. In other words, fine tune it. You have to figure out what would it look like if I had a real memory problem, because I need a ticket for that. But I don't need a ticket every 60 seconds when I'm just, doing something important on the server. So you have to figure this out. What you should never, ever, ever do is disconnect the RMM from the PSA. You should never turn off those alerts. The whole point of having those alerts is that you are able to monitor at a higher level. But you have to go through the effort of fine-tuning that RMM so that you get the alerts that matter and you don't get the alerts that don't matter. You know, there's a lot of quote-unquote alerts that are irrelevant, and we all know that. So it's a matter of clamping it down and fine-tuning it, and that absolutely can be done. So fine-tune how things get into your system, but please, even if it takes you the next 3 months, connect up your RMM, let it create tickets, and then clamp it down so that it's manageable. Don't just filter those tickets and throw them away, because what you've done at that point, if you've literally created a system with big holes in it, and so when the tickets go by that part of the conveyor belt, they just drop through the hole and you don't know that you've lost something. So you can't base your system on the faulty premise that it's okay to just throw things away without looking at them. Clamp it down. I know that takes work. Assign a technician to do nothing else for a week, and I promise you they'll get their arms around the RMM and you'll be able to keep that connection for the rest of the history of your business. So tune in next time. We're going to talk more about making sure things don't fall off the conveyor belt. For Small Biz Thoughts, this is Carl Palachuk wishing you the best of luck in your managed service business. Like it if you like it, share it with your friends, and absolutely subscribe to the channel.